YouTube. Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome in. If you have subscribed, I so appreciate it. And if you have not yet subscribed, I would really appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Let's start by taking a moment and smelling the flowers. You see these gorgeous beauties? These are from our front yard. Rafi has planted and grown these plumeria. They smell incredible. All right, maybe we take a sip of water if we need it. And I am going to start, I'm going to get comfy. I'm going to be talking about the Cancer new moon. And I am going to start by reading a sutra from one of my all-time favorite books, written by the incomparable Lauren Roche. I'm going to read Sutra 76. Beloved, reject the reality of everything. Deny the universe of appearance. Say no to the phenomenal world. Reside in the secret place inside. As joy rises in the heart at this sudden freedom, enter there and dwell. All right, my friends, let's talk about this new moon in Cancer. This new moon is happening exact on July 14th at 2:44 a.m. It's happening at 21 degrees and 59 arc minutes, which is literally like a breath away from 22 degrees. So we are going to call this a 22-degree new moon in Cancer. All right, so this new moon, let's talk about a new moon for a moment, shall we? A new moon, of course, is a new cycle of the moon. This is the moon at her darkest. She's constantly cycling through really all the themes of life as the moon, goes through every stage of the cycle from new to full moon. So at her fullest, we would think of that as a completion, right? A culmination of her light, the completion of a cycle, the ending, a death, right? The ending. And now she's becoming new. So she's got forward momentum. She is building in light, right? So starting from the very darkest moment, that is the new moon. So what we might call the conception moment, the impending birth of something new. So this threshold that we are constantly moving between, as a metaphor, whether it's baking a cake, very Cancer, by the way, baking a cake from the process of the baking to the cleaning, right? It is all involved. We might have the impulse, the urge, or even an idea to bake something new, and the process that that takes to the completion point of cleaning up everything. Okay, so I'm just using a very simple cake analogy, which again seems to be very much on par with a Cancer new moon. So the new moon is very much about what are we dreaming, speaking, planting, bringing into existence, meaning it's the first spark, something new, a new cycle. What is hidden in the dark, hidden in the womb, that is waiting for the right moment to be birthed into something else. So the new moon is on the 14th of July. It's literally landing at the midpoint of the month. And this month is nothing if not, let's just say, busy, different. It could be seen as, what many are saying is a huge quantum leap into something new, a big shift We hear that word a lot. But today I'm really just going to talk about, and I really do try to just talk about what the moon is doing within the month, whether it's the new moon or the full moon. There is so much other planetary activity that is new, fresh cycles. So this new moon is landing at the midpoint of July on the 14th. To me, this feels like a buoy, a moment to catch our collective breath, to remember the dream, to remember the love, the through line that connects us all to each other, but also what connects us back to our own heart. I would say this is like that collective moment before we are resubmerged into the watery emotional depths of so much Cancer energy that we have been navigating for over a month. When Mercury went into Cancer a month ago, and now Mercury, I will bring Mercury into this this moment here because Mercury is in Cancer retrograde. And I probably spoke about that in the last full moon Capricorn reading, but as a refresh or a reminder, so this Mercury has been retrograde since the end of June, the very end of June. It's going to go, or beginning of July, early July, and it's going to go direct on July 23rd. However, on July 12th, just 2 days before the new moon, Mercury will be conjunct the sun, what you might call cazimi. And this is what I would describe as perhaps an internal, retrograde is very internal, where we want to slow down and backtrack or consider or contemplate where have we been, what has been going on, taking it all in. And so it could feel like an internal moment of clarity on July 12th. And this feels almost like a beautiful prelude to the new moon in Cancer, a moment of really taking in the last month or so. This transit is, I believe, giving a moment of a deeper inner knowing, a deeper connection to what lies within the subconscious. And it might be something that is living within you that wants to see the light of day. So that's a little bit about this Mercury cazimi, the sun, conjunct the sun in Cancer. And again, back to this new moon. So we have that collective, what I believe is a collective moment at the midpoint of the month when this new moon is exact to remember who are we? Who am I? Remember your own heart, the dream that you hold. What are you doing here? Again, this month holds a lot of energy. And there is a lot of emotional energy. Again, back to Mercury in Cancer. This already gives Mercury, the messenger, the ruler of the mind, the thoughts, the communication, the words, the conversations, the ideas. It brings in a much more profound emotional tone to everything, especially in Cancer. So the energies this month really do run the gamut from tension to reaction to contemplation, the invitation, reception, ultimately the evolution. And this new moon wants us to feel. It's inviting us to feel. It's calling us back to our emotional intelligence, to remember that we are all created from the Great Mother, the One Mother. We share the same home upon Mother Earth. Our bodies are the moon, connected to the moon, born from the moon. The moon chronicles Cancer, you can see this beautiful interplay of all of these emotionally driven themes. Again, back to our higher emotional intelligence. This is what makes us human. It's what connects us to each other, to ourself, to everything, to every bit of what makes us no different from a tree or the flowers that we smell. So, this moment truly is a call back to your own heart where safety awaits your return and the birth of even deeper compassion, the compassion for yourself, the understanding and desire to feel that for yourself first so that you can truly receive it, but also generously and benevolently give that same compassion out to others, including the stranger that we do not know, but that is really no different than us. These are very um, sometimes difficult, but very high spiritual values of holding true compassion and using our empathetic selves to really feel what somebody else is feeling, which drops us into our compassionate heart. So, Cancer, I would say, is probably the most sensitive of all the signs. Of course, Cancer is water, Cancer is ruled by the moon, highly sensitive, empathetic, protective, caring. Cancer can also be overprotective, pouring into other too much, too attached to other, or if you have children, too attached to your own children. Um, difficult to detach or to let go of. These are, both sides of that Cancer energy. Cancer is also, represented by the crab. And we know the crab wears its home on its back. It carries its home, the shell. And that hard exterior shell is protective, and it can lend itself to be overprotective, meaning because it's so sensitive and tender on the inside and soft and mushy on the inside, it may be even become invulnerable to feeling too much, so that it can even um, ironically come across as distant or you know, too cold or too firm as a form of self protection. So that is also very much aligned with Cancer energy. And that is both the blessing and the challenge, right? But paradoxically, when you allow yourself to fall into the vastness of your humanity and not desensitize yourself to it, our emotions are akin to homing pigeons. They always lead us back to safe harbor. And when we trust that we can really trust that emotional intelligence, that we are very capable of feeling the spectrum of our full humanity, that those homing pigeons, so to speak, will always lead us back to safety, back to the safe harbor of our own heart's knowing. And the journey may be difficult or treacherous or unknown or very scary. To be that vulnerable, that tender, that exposed, but it's always worth it. It's always worth it. The conundrum is living in systems that have really worked against us when it truly comes to prioritizing our own well being and the well being of others, because for the most part, the majority of us are living in survival mode. So it is antithetical to feeling like you have the capacity to truly go there. meaning to truly be able to feel into all of your experiences, to have the time and the resources, both inner and outer resources, to to receive this for yourself, to understand this, to allow yourself whatever it takes. So this new moon is really a brief but very fertile moment to dream, to listen, to your own, again, your higher emotional intelligence. What is your heart calling you back to? What are you desiring more of? How are you holding yourself with the deepest of compassion for where you have been, what you have seen, how you have traversed so much, and the ability to take it all in, to decipher it, to make sense of it, to feel it. Something that has always helped me stay very compassionate and feel into others is not only to see others as their 3 or 4 year old self and imagine them as their first self, as that beautiful, sweet, cute, innocent child that knew nothing about anything other than this child's awe, the child wonder, the child state of being, which is curiosity and sweetness and fun and freedom and just, a sense of just learning and taking it all in. And to equally remember yourself at 3, 4, 5 years old. This energy is a beautiful time to pull out old photo albums, to um, to even have conversations with family, to be in your home, to reconnect with what makes you feel safe and comfortable, where you find that sense of safety, and to reconnect with your little self, with your first self, to really hold yourself in that awe and wonder and tell yourself how proud you are of you, how in awe you are of you, to see yourself again as that sweet, innocent, cute, silly, adorable, easy to love child. This Cancer new moon wants you to follow the breadcrumbs home to your highest heart's knowing. That's what this new moon is really asking of all of us. Again, I've chosen to only speak about this moment because this Cancer new moon really deserves her moment in and with the sun. So, regardless of all the other transits, aka all the other things that are happening in life, because it's never just one thing, it's always everything at once. But today, July 14th, new moon, and even the days leading up to it, I am here recording this. Today is July 10th that I am recording this. So, as we move closer and closer to this beautiful new moons again are just beautiful new energy. It's the beginning of something new. Return to the home, your literal home, the home within your own heart, your safety zone, even your comfort zone. Right now is that moment to just recalibrate. We're starting new. We're going to, plant new seeds, so to speak. We're going to bring up new dreams. We're going to talk about the dreams. So, this moment in time is asking a lot from all of us. Are we ready to receive the assignment? Because it is kind of go time. And when I say go time, I mean truly returning to self. because it's only then that we can be there for each other. And I probably say something very similar in all of these moon readings that I've been doing, a handful of them, but it's true. It really is true. So go make yourself a good meal, listen to what you need more of, and fearlessly start making the ascent, in that direction. This little life of ours was not meant to be easy, but I believe it also was not meant to be so hard. And I know, again, the paradox of all things, right? But when we do return back to our own self, our own knowing, trusting, I'll just leave it at trust, whether it's trusting yourself, trusting the experiences, trusting the unknowable, the uncertainty, trusting that letting go of control is the only way to have any control, which is no control. So let go of the control. I'll say it again. When you return to yourself, which might just be the hardest thing to do of all, somehow it starts to feel a little bit easier. Thank you for listening. If you want to explore how this pertains to you in context to your beautiful, one of a kind, unique self within your natal birth chart, you can find me here. My website is linked here. You can find me on the other social channels, meaning Instagram. I would be so grateful, so honored to meet you there, meet you in the stars, meet you where you're at. But for now, be well, drink your water, smell the flowers, maybe make yourself a beautiful meal, a hearty meal. Help your family, help your friends, your neighbors, and please stay safe. And on that note, I'll see you at the next full moon. Bye for now.